Hello guys and welcome back to Mr. Pandaria beta. I finally got my live characters copied. It took between 24 and 32 hours, which is insane, but I know, well, there have been so many invites, so yeah. In this video I will show you the talents for Mage and the glyphs as well. There's some weird glyphs, but some that I find really interesting, that are useful as well. So I still have my arcane spec, which is weird because my current one actually got reset. I don't know why, but I haven't even touched the arcane one, which is okay. I will be making separate videos. I will be making one video per spec, so Arcane, Fire and Frost would have each different video where I show you, well, basically the new stuff for each spec, and somehow, like, I'm not really sure, Arcane has a weird, it's not a rotation or rotation priority. It's really different now, which I enjoy. I like it because you can't spam Arcane Blast anymore, but I need to do a lot of research first, which I obviously do for any video before I make them. Anyway, let's get started. I'm in my off spec, this is my main spec on live, but Fire, I haven't picked any talents yet because I figured we could go through them. And yeah, let's see, I have Dusted Disappearance. Yes, I have. Okay, yeah, I went to the Jade Forest, you know, where people start with their pre-mates. I went there with the Rune of Teleportation because it turns out that the portal actually works, the portal to Orgrimmar, but you need one Rune of Teleportation, which is interesting. Yeah, luckily there's a mailbox there so you can send to your alts or premates, whatever. So the first tier of our talents is Presence of Mind. It's the same thing as before. A non-instant spell becomes instant within 10 seconds. Yeah, it says, yeah, casting time with less than 10 seconds even. Yes, becomes instant. It's not on global cooldown, which is good. Scorch is the same thing as before. I have not seen, I will go through that in a Fire video, but Scorch should not apply, no longer apply a debuff on your target with 5% crit. You know, don't quote me on that because I'm going to make a Fire video later on. And Ice Flows, which is a new one, which basically allows you to move and cast and channel your next two spells that have like a base cast or channel time less than 4 seconds. And what's interesting about this one is it only has 1 minute cooldown. You can cast 2 spells, but you can actually cast this while you're casting something, okay? And it's also not on the global cooldown, which is nice. That is the first tier. So you have either instant spell, one instant spell, spam Scorch while moving, which is nothing new, I guess. We have been doing that for a while if you're Fire anyway. And Ice Flows that allows you to cast 2 spells while moving. Okay, that is the first tier of Mage. The second one is more kind of like survivability, kind of. You have the Temporal Shield, which is obviously new. It gives you a shield for 4 seconds that when you are damaged, you will be healed back the damaged over 6 seconds. You have Blazing Speed, which is just like the old talent for Fire. You know, when you're taking, here it says when you take 2% of your total health, or when you kill enemies, experience or honor, you get 150% movement speed for 1.5 seconds. Okay, so it's obviously been buffed, the movement speed has been buffed, and the duration has been nerfed, but I have not tried this. It sounds really insane, 150%. And it's not on global cooldown. Not on global, no, okay. An ice barrier, which we know from before, which previously was frost only. Absorbs damage, lasts a minute, only 25-second cooldown, which is really nice. And of course you take no delay in spell casting when you get damaged or when you absorb with our ice barrier. So I should probably start picking these actually. I want Scorch because I like to be able to cast while moving. And on the second tier I like all of these. I really do. I mean, the Temportion can be really helpful. Blazing Speed just sounds insane, well obviously in PvP. But, oh god, I don't know. If I'm gonna solo, like quest, which I will be making a video where I'm actually going to start questing in the Jade Forest. I actually want the ice barrier because the less damage I take, the better. I mean, yeah, sure, I would probably most likely kill a lot of the mobs before they reach me, and if I have Scorch, I can just run and attack and whatever. So, okay, the third tier we have CC in a way. You have the normal Ring of Frost, which is basically the same thing as before. Ice Ward is actually interesting. You know, we had Mage Ward, which does not seem to exist anymore. Can't find it anyway. Ice Ward, sorry, is something you put on a friendly target. Okay, and when someone strikes that target, it will basically make a Frost Nova from your friendly target with this buff, so every single enemy around them within 10 yards are frozen for 5 seconds. That's pretty mad actually. And Frost Yaw. You silence and freeze the target in place for 8 seconds, so 4 seconds versus players. That's still really good, considering you actually have Deep Freeze for every spec now. That is just insane. That would be a lot of fun in PvP, that's for sure. Okay, so Ring of Frost, Ice Ward, or Frost Yaw. I think I'm gonna take Frost Yaw, because if you're questing and you're, I don't know, it can be good for survivability, or if you meet a hard mob. Of course, you can take Ring of Frost if you're pulling a lot of AoE and if you like doing that. But I think I want Frost Yaw actually. Okay. Oh god. Tier 4 is also very interesting. We have some survivability yet again. Great invisibility, which replaces the normal invisibility. This one instantly makes you invisible. Okay, reduces all threat and removing 2 damage over time effects. So this is really interesting. 2 damage over time. I'm not sure if they only count like dots, or if it's only, or if it actually counts like bleed effects or something. I'm not sure. So yeah, you're invisible obviously for 20 seconds. And what's interesting is that while you are invisible and 3 seconds after coming out of invisibility, you take 90% less damage. 90%. That would be awesome in PvP. But you know, all of these are very viable. Like Cauterize, which is the same thing as before. Basically, instead of an attack killing you, you will be brought to 50% of your maximum health. But now you will burn for 40% of your maximum health over the next 6 seconds. So obviously you need to, just as before, you need to ice block this, or you need to you know, try to absorb it in some way so you don't kill yourself with Cauterize, which happens. And Cold Snap, same thing as before, but it only finishes the cooldown of your Ice Block, Frost Nova, and Cone of Cold, but also instantly restores 30% of your health. 30%. You can use this while you are stunned, frozen, incapacitated, feared, or asleep. That is just that is really good. I mean, all of these are really nice. Oh god. Well, I'm a fan of fire, so I would be taking Cauterize. I mean, yeah. I mean, I still have invisibility. This is just a graded version of it. And Cold Snap, yeah, perfectly fine actually. Okay, so the last tier we can take right now is tier 5. And basically, this tier is all about bombs. I'm not sure what they were thinking with this tier, because this is actually one tier that is weird to me. You have the Nether Tempest, which is basically the like the living bomb of Arcane. Like if you're playing Arcane, this one does Arcane damage over time, and it's also doing 50% of the damage it does to a random target within 10 yards. You have the normal living bomb, which I obviously want for fire, which is just a normal thing really, but from what I heard, it's still limited to 3 targets, but they have also limited the actual explode from when it expires, which is just retarded. I mean, it explodes, it hits 3 targets, that's it. It's like, what? I'm not sure if it like it's probably like 1 living bomb can hit 3 targets. If you have 3 targets out, or 3 living bombs out, you can actually, when all of them explode, you're going to hit 9 targets. You know what I'm saying? Probably. I hope that's how it's going to work anyway. And Frost Bomb, which is the frost version of this. It does, wow, only after 5 seconds it does frost damage, obviously, and also frost damage to people within, or enemies within 10 yards, like the other ones. But these are also slowed. Frost Bomb's countdown and cooldown are reduced by haste. That is freaking insane, because if you look at this, my current haste, I have not reforged, by the way. I still have 17% hit chance. I need to reforge. Anyway, my current haste rating is, wow, it's really low for some reason. I don't know why. Yes, I know why. Okay, I'm going to show you why. It should be over 2005. It should be 2023, I think I have right now on live servers. But I have almost 15%, and I know exactly why I'm missing it. But yeah, so almost 15%, and you can see that the cooldown is 8.7 seconds, has a 1.3 cast, and actually, let's see, after only 5.22 seconds, it explodes. That is really cool. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna show you something. I know exactly why. We have no wands anymore, which is really weird. No wands. Yeah, and my wand is actually here. It's like, oh, all my stats are gone. So yeah, can't use that anymore, which sucks. But I guess we don't need to worry about wands anymore. Okay, guys. Anyway, so that is what I prefer. Depends, but I mean, Frost it sounds really cool. I mean, only 20 seconds cooldown, and yeah, I think that's what I'm going to use. So yes, I like to learn those. Thank you. Cauterize is passive. Yeah, thank fuck for that. It's not like, imagine if they took like what they did on with the Ardent Defender. Like, it used to be passive, now it's active or activated. Imagine if they took Cauterize, took it from passive to activate. That would be fucking retarded. Oh, sorry, like we don't have enough of things to do. Now, the last tier, I just want to talk about the last tier. We can't reach 90 yet. You can reach 86, and that's it. You are getting no more XP from that point on. Invocation. This one just seems to be so overpowered. I've been reading a lot about actually fire and arcane and all that. I will be going into it in these specific videos, but invocation is basically really fucking insane. And they actually changed this. Originally, you had no passive mana regen whatsoever. Now you have 50% less mana regen, which is a huge difference. And they actually buffed this. It's still 30% increased spell damage when you complete an evocation or invocation or evocation, whatever. Invocation is the buff, I think that's what it is. But it lasts for 40 seconds. They buffed it by, I think it's like 10 seconds, which is just insane. And I've been reading a lot about it, and it's going to be so awesome. I can't wait to try it out. But we also have Rune of Power. Now this is interesting. This is really interesting. It replaces evocation, but allows you to put a Rune of Power on the ground. You know, if you remember in Uldar with the Iron Council, I think they were called, you had a Rune of Power on the ground that you could stand in, or even like almost like on Omnitron, for example. Yeah, Rune of Power. It lasts for 1 minute. You can have 2 of them out at one time. While you're standing in it, your mana regeneration is increased by 100%, which is whatever. But your spell damage is increased by 15% as long as you stand in it. Having to stand in it really sounds like an issue to me, to be honest, because there are usually a lot of movements. And I actually read about the Dungeon Journal on my Mo Champion just yesterday about the encounters they had posted, and it seems like there will be a lot of movement, so I don't think Rune of Power will be, it could be viable if you put one on the right side, one on the left side where you know you're going to go. So like, oh, we have to move, you just blink and stand in the second one and then spawn another one. Like, you know, you can just rotate, but I'm not really sure. I have to try it out first. It has a 10-second cooldown. So you have to cast one, wait to 10 seconds, which means the first one only has 50 seconds left, and then you have to cast another. I don't know, it's just weird. Okay, the last one is Incanter's Ward. It's another shield. It absorbs damage, obviously, for 8 seconds, and the absorbed damage will restore 15% of your maximum mana. Yeah, and when it runs off, you gain 30% increased spell power for 15 seconds based on the absorption used. Now, I want to check something. We have 30% increased spell power. Okay, now this is interesting. If you actually read this, Invocation gives you 30% increased spell damage. Rune of Power gives you 15% spell damage. Incanter's Ward gives you 30% increased spell power. Now that is different. But from what I've read and what I think anyway, is that the Invocation talent will be the one that will be superior. We got a new passive ability not too long ago. I will go through in another video. But I don't know, I just have to try it out first. But it seems like it will be really, really good. So that is the talents, and these are the ones that I've chosen. I will probably take Invocation or a Rune of Power. I'm not too keen on Incanter's Ward. It's basically like Mage Ward for Arcane, but this one absorbs all the damage, which is nice. If not, it would suck balls, but I don't really like it, to be honest. So for Glyphs, first of all, if you didn't know, Prime Glyphs are no longer existent. They no longer exist. We only have Major Glyphs and Minor Glyphs, which, well, I don't care really. Like, yeah, sure, whatever. And we have some, well, not new ones really, but we have Arcane Explosion, Yard, like the bigger radius, longer duration and cooldown of Arcane Power, which is weird. Now, Glyph of Armors. It reduces the cast time of your mage armors and increases the defensive effect of each armor by an additional 10%. Now you're wondering what the fuck? Yeah. Like, look at this. Mortal armor, it increases your spell crit chance 5%. Physical effects used against you reduced by 25. So if I use that, I get 35. But it has a cast time of 261. Why would you add a cast time to a mage armor? I don't know, that's just stupid. Glyph of Blink is the same. Combustion damage over time and the cooldown increased by 100%. Cone of Cold increases damage 200%. That is freaking nice. Your counter spell can now be cast while casting or channeling other spells, but its cooldown is increased by 4 seconds. Okay. Deep Freeze no longer a global cooldown. Okay. Evocation, let's see. So this is the same as before. It heals 60% of your health. If you have Invocation, the health is reduced to 20%. And if you have Rune of Power, you gain 1% of your health per second while standing in the Rune of Power. Now, Rune of Power, it should only work with mages, obviously. Like, it won't work with other party members or raid members, which would be OP. But I'm wondering if you can stack the Rune of Power, you know what I mean? Like, you put one on the ground and you put another one right on top of the other one, so you can, you know, have it stacked again. I'm not sure, probably not, but this one is a must for Frost. Free charges or Fingers of Frost. Your fire, oh, this is really retarded. I'm going to show you more in the other video, but Inferno Blast is a new blast that replaces Fire Blast, and you need this glyph to allow them to spread your living bomb. What the fuck is that shit? I mean, really? We need a fucking glyph to spread living bomb? God damn it. So stupid. Okay, reduces the cast time of Frost Fire Bolt by 0.5. Now, let's see if I can find... There it is. 239. Oh, that's actually a nice glyph if you're using Frostfire. Which no one has been using for a while. No comment. Okay, Ice Lance. It's one additional target for 50% damage. That is actually nice. Okay, reduce the cooldown and duration 50%. This is a must right here. The Mana Gem. You now conjure a brilliant Mana Gem, which gives you 10 charges instead of 3 charges. Damn. Yeah, I like that one. This is the same, removes time over dots basically. Applies no slow damage if notorious occur. Oh, okay. Spell Steal heals you. Health of your water elemental allows it to cast while moving. That's nice. That is really nice for Frost, actually. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna go, of course, in the other video, but your water elemental no longer uses mana for his spells, which is really nice. Reduces the cooldown of your Frost Nova. When Ice Block terminates, you trigger an instant free Frost Nova and makes you immune to all spells for 3 seconds. That is really cool. Increases movement speed, it's the same. Okay, increases the damage you deal by 10% for 10 seconds after you successfully remove a curse. That is the major glyphs. We have some minor ones here. Reduces the mana cost, the same. Reduces mana cost. This is freaking weird. When cast on critters, your polymorph spells now last 1 day and can be cast on multiple targets. What the hell? That is just weird. This one is weird as well. Your Mana Gem now restores mana over 6 seconds rather than instantly. Huh. Okay, Mirror Image is the same. Momentum is interesting. Your Blink spell teleports you in the direction you're moving instead of the direction you are facing. Okay. We have the Monkey Glyph, which is nothing new. No longer require the assistance of other raid members to come. Wow, that is actually cool, but I don't think it's needed at all. It's just a fun thing, I guess. Your slow fall spell no longer requires a regent. Same shit. Turn into polymorph. Turn into polymorph. Turns into penguin, which is interesting. I actually have this one on live, but not on the beta, which is weird. And this one is, oh my god! Just look at this one. When after casting a mage teleport spell or entering a mage portal, your movement speed is increased by 70% for 1 minute. What the hell? That is just what? Okay, I can get it if you like bored or don't have a mount, or I don't know, but that is just what? Yeah, that is weird. So that's the talents. I can't wait to try the 91s like everyone else, and the glyphs. So yeah, that's it for this video. For the next ones, I will be making a video per one video per spec, basically showing Arcane Fire Frost. I just need to, as usual, check out some things, do some research before I actually make a video about it. I've seen some interesting things. Yes, interesting things. I'm going to show you which some things which are I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, and some things like, what the fuck. Yeah, do not want. But yeah, I will see you guys for the next video. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for watching.